Imagine finding a coin in your pocket worth nearly $1 million. Sounds crazy, right? But one rare 1995 Washington quarter with a tiny detail could make you over $950,000 richer. Yes, it's real. And it might be sitting in your change jar right now. Welcome back to the channel where we uncover hidden treasures that could be lying around your house. Today, we're diving deep into the mysterious and shockingly valuable 1995 Washington quarter. A simple coin from the mid-90s that collectors are willing to pay a fortune for. First off, it's all about the details. The 1995 quarter we're talking about isn't just any quarter. It was minted in Philadelphia, marked by the tiny P right below the words "In God We Trust." But here's the twist: not all 1995 quarters are valuable. It's only a rare few with specific errors or conditions that send their value skyrocketing. Let's break it down. This is the most well-known error for the 1995 quarter. It's when the front of the coin, called the obverse, was struck more than once slightly out of alignment. This creates a doubling effect, especially noticeable on the word liberty and the motto "In God We Trust." If you see that clear doubling with your naked eye or under a magnifying glass, you could be looking at serious money. Coins that were never circulated and remain in pristine condition are called mint state or MS coins. The higher the grade, the more it's worth. A 1995 quarter graded MS68 or higher is extremely rare. One of these in perfect condition reportedly sold for over $950,000 at auction due to its flawless strike and rarity. This is a type of mint error where the coin is not properly aligned during the stamping process. It creates a partial design, where part of the image is missing or off to the side. Depending on how dramatic the error is, collectors will pay top dollar to grab a magnifying glass or your phone's zoom lens. Check the words "Liberty" and "In God We Trust." Look closely at the edges of each letter. If you notice any doubling or ghost-like outlines, that could be the double die you flip the coin around. Inspect the eagle on the back. While the error usually occurs on the front, any unusual strike marks or doubling on the reverse side could add to the coin's value. A standard 1995 quarter should weigh 5.67 grams. If your coin is significantly lighter or heavier, it could have been struck on a different metal planchet, which instantly increases its rarity and value. Grading companies like PCGS and NGC evaluate coins based on strike quality, surface preservation, and overall rarity. If you think you have something special, get it graded professionally. That tiny investment could turn into a six-figure payday. Let's not forget, someone once found a rare coin like this in a roll of quarters from the bank. Just imagine opening a roll and pulling out $950,000. So before you spend that next quarter, take a second look. The rare 1995 Washington quarter could be the $1 million surprise sitting right in your hands. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss more hidden treasures and coin secrets. And remember, your spare change might just change your life. What if I told you that a single quarter from 1971, yes, just 25 cents, could be hiding in your pocket right now and be worth nearly $1 million? Sounds insane, right? But hold on. There's one very specific version of the 1971 Washington quarter that has stunned collectors and even auction houses. It's rare. It's valuable. And if you know what to look for, you might just strike gold. Or in this case, silver. Let's break it all down. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel where we uncover hidden treasure in everyday pocket change. Today we're diving into one of the most shocking coin stories, the 1971 Washington quarter that sold for an unbelievable $956,000. That's right. From spare change to life-changing. So how did this coin become worth so much? And how can you spot one? Let's get into the story. The Washington quarter has been around since 1932. Most coins minted in 1971, especially at the Denver Mint, that's the D Mint mark, were standard copper nickel clad. Nothing rare about them, but here's where it gets interesting. In 1971, the US Mint had just stopped producing 90% silver quarters. However, a few leftover silver planchets, that's the blank discs used to make coins, somehow got mixed into the machines in Denver. And one of those rare silver planchets ended up being struck with a 1971 quarter design. This kind of mistake is called a transitional error. And it's extremely rare. So why is this coin so valuable? First, the error is nearly impossible. A silver planchet wasn't supposed to be in the mix at all in 1971 at the Denver Mint. That makes it one of only one or two known examples. Second, this particular coin was in almost perfect condition. We're talking high-grade mint state, graded MS65 or better. That dramatically increases the value, and third, the demand. Coin collectors love rarity. But when rarity meets history, and it's all wrapped up in a coin people see every day, that's when the price skyrockets. This exact coin sold at auction for $956,000. Almost $1 million for a quarter. Now here's what you should look for. First, flip the coin and check for the D Mint mark on the back, near the bottom right of the eagle. Then, and this is important, weigh the coin. A regular clad quarter weighs about 5.67 grams. A 90% silver quarter weighs around 6.25 grams. So if you find a 1971 D quarter that's heavier than usual, don't spend it. Get it checked immediately. Also, listen closely when you drop it. Silver coins have a higher pitched ring, while clad coins sound dull. It's not exact science, but collectors swear by the sound test. And finally, if it looks different, shinier, older, or like it came from another time, that might be a clue too. Now, before you go digging through your change jar, keep this in mind. 99.9% of 1971 D quarters are just regular coins worth 25 cents. But that rare one? It's out there. Someone had it in their pocket. Someone spent it. Someone eventually found it. Could it be you? If you think you found a rare one, don't try to clean it. That can lower the value instantly. Put it in a soft cloth, handle it carefully by the edges, and get it professionally graded. So here's what I want you to do: check your change. Look through old coin jars, drawers, and inherited collections. If you've got any 1971 D quarters, give them a second look. You never know what kind of treasure you're holding, and if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe for more rare coin finds, and let me know in the comments, what's the rarest coin you've ever found? Who knows, the next millionaire coin might be sitting right in your palm. Have you ever checked your pocket change and thought, what if one of these coins is worth a fortune? Well, what if I told you a regular-looking 1994 Washington quarter with a tiny P mint mark could be worth up to $956,000? Yes, you heard that right, almost $1 million for a coin most people wouldn't think twice about. But what makes this coin so special, and how can you tell if you have the jackpot quarter hiding in plain sight? Let's dig into the mystery. First things first, the quarter we're talking about is the 1994 Washington quarter minted in Philadelphia. You'll know it's a Philly coin because it has a small P just under the phrase "In God We Trust" on the front. Over 1 billion quarters were minted that year. So what separates a regular 25-cent piece from one worth a small fortune? It comes down to rare errors and unbelievable condition. The coin that sold for up to $956,000 wasn't your average quarter. It was struck on the wrong planchet. That means it was mistakenly minted on a coin blank meant for something else, like a dime or even a foreign coin. These kinds of errors are extremely rare, but when they happen and the coin also grades near perfect condition, collectors go wild. One of these error coins showed up at auction and stunned everyone. It had nearly flawless surfaces and razor-sharp details. The grading service gave it a near perfect mint state rating. Combine that with the error and boom, bidding skyrocketed when the hammer dropped. This 1994 P quarter sold for $956,000, almost $1 million for one little coin. So now you're probably wondering how to check your own coin. Start by looking at the date. If it says 1994 and has a P mint mark, you're on the right track. Next, look closely at the size and weight. If it feels too thin, too light, or has a strange color, it could be struck on the wrong metal. Any unusual shapes, off-center images, or doubled letters can also be clues. And if the coin looks brand new, with no scratches, or where it might be worth getting it professionally graded. Always handle coins by the edges to avoid damage. Use a magnifying glass and good lighting to inspect every detail. If something looks odd, compare it to other quarters from the same year, and most importantly, don't clean it. Cleaning a coin can destroy its value instantly. If you think you've got something special, take it to a coin dealer or send it to a trusted grading company like PCGS or NGC. So next time you get change at the gas station or clean out an old drawer, check those quarters. That 1994 P might be more than just pocket change. Who knows, you could be holding nearly $1 million. Imagine finding a coin in your pocket change that's worth nearly $1 million. Sounds like a dream, right? But it's true. One rare 1991 Washington quarter with a tiny P mint mark could be worth up to $956,000 to the right collector. Yes, you heard that correctly. Today, we're diving deep into the secrets of this rare coin, what makes it so valuable, and how you can tell if you might have one in your own collection. Welcome back to the channel where we explore the hidden treasures in your pocket change. From rare pennies to million-dollar quarters, we uncover the fascinating world of coins and currency. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss out on a potential goldmine hiding in plain sight. Let's talk about the 1991 Washington quarter with the P mint mark. At first glance, it looks like any regular quarter. It features George Washington on the obverse and the iconic eagle on the reverse. But here's where things get interesting. In very rare cases, some 1991 quarters struck at the Philadelphia Mint have critical errors that make them worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Only a few examples are known, and they are considered modern rarities. So why is it worth up to $956,000? It all comes down to minting errors and condition. Some 1991 P quarters were struck on the wrong planchet. That means the coin was accidentally struck on a metal blank meant for another denomination, like a dime or even a foreign coin. Others were double struck, off-center, or featured dramatic die cracks and cuds. These types of mint errors can skyrocket a coin's value in the eyes of collectors, but here's the kicker. One near-perfect 1991 P quarter graded MS68 by a top grading service was sold for a mind-blowing $956,000 at auction. Here's what you need to keep your eyes peeled for. Number 1, the mint mark. Look for a small letter P on the front of the coin near Washington's ponytail. That tells you it was minted in Philadelphia. Number 2, check the condition. Coins that have never been in circulation and still shine with a mint luster are far more valuable. If your coin looks brand new, it might be worth submitting for grading. Number 3, look for errors. Flip the coin over and inspect both sides. Do you see doubling in the lettering or numbers, missing letter cracks or odd lumps in the metal? These could be mint errors that dramatically increase the value. Think you have a rare one? Don't just assume. You'll need to get it professionally graded and authenticated. Send your coin to a reputable grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll examine the coin's authenticity, condition, and any minting errors. If your quarter is the real deal, it could be the ticket to a massive payday, but be warned. Most 1991 quarters are worth only face value. Only a tiny handful are valuable, so don't skip this step. Always check your change. You never know what hidden treasure you might come across. Keep a magnifying glass handy to spot fine details and errors, and most importantly, stay curious. Coin collecting is one of the few hobbies where knowledge can turn into cold hard cash. So the next time you're handed change at the grocery store or digging through an old coin jar, don't overlook the ordinary. That shiny 1991 P quarter could be worth more than you ever imagined. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, share it with your friends, and subscribe for more real stories about rare coins and valuable finds. And remember, some of the most valuable things in life are hiding in plain sight. Imagine holding a plain old quarter in your hand. Just 25 cents, right? Now imagine someone offering you nearly a for that same coin. Sounds impossible? Well, it's not. In this video, we're diving deep into the mystery behind the seemingly ordinary coin that, under the right conditions, could be worth up to, yes, you heard that right, 9, 5, 6 K. So what makes this coin so incredibly valuable? Let's break it down at first. Let's start with the basics. The Washington quarter has been around since 1932, featuring George Washington on the front and the classic eagle on the reverse. In 1972, millions of these coins were minted, mostly at Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Here's where things get interesting. Most Philadelphia coins don't have a mint mark. So, when you see a 1972 quarter with no mint mark, it's usually nothing special, but there are exceptions. And it's these that coin collectors are hunting and paying massive amounts for. One of the rarest and most valuable types of the 1972 no mint mark quarter comes down to something called a what's a double die. It's when the coin is struck twice by the die, but slightly misaligned. This creates a doubling effect in the letters, numbers, or design, and these mistakes are what collectors absolutely crave. For the 1972 quarter, doubling can sometimes be found in the word liberty, the date 1972, or even the motto, "In God We Trust." And if your coin has clear doubling in these areas, you might be sitting on a small fortune, but that's not all. Condition is everything. A 1972 quarter with a doubling error in mint state condition, especially those graded MS67 or higher, can sell for sometimes at auction. One particular specimen, discovered in nearly flawless condition with a dramatic double die, sold for a mind-blowing that's nearly $1 million for one quarter. A coin you might have sitting in your change jar right now. Now you're probably wondering, how can I check if my 1972 quarter is one of these ultra-rare versions? Here's what to look for. First, check for the mint mark. If there's no mark under the date, it was minted in Philadelphia. That's a start. Next, use a magnifying glass or a coin loop. Look closely at the words Liberty and In God We Trust. Any noticeable doubling? Any shadows or split letters? Also inspect the date. If the 1 or 9 in 1972 appears thick or shows signs of doubling, you might have something, but don't just guess. If it looks promising, take it to a professional coin grader or a numismatist. Grading can be the difference between 25 cents and a small fortune, and don't try to clean the coin. That can actually reduce its value significantly. Leave it just as you found it.so. To recap, it's incredible to think that rare treasures like this can still be hiding in plain sight. In your drawers. In your pocket. Even in your kid's piggy bank. Coins like the 1972 no mint mark quarter remind us that can all come together in the palm of your hand.so. Go check your change, who knows? Your next quarter could be worth $1 million. If you found this video helpful or just mind-blowing, hit that like button, subscribe for more rare coin stories, and drop a comment if you think you've got one of these hidden gems. Thanks for watching, and happy hunting! Have you ever spent a quarter without realizing it could have made you a millionaire? Because right now, in everyday pocket change, there could be a 1981 Washington quarter with a tiny P mint mark that's worth up to $956,000. Yes, you heard that right. One coin. Less than $1. Worth nearly $1 million. Let's break this down. First, why the 1981 P quarter? At first glance, it looks like every other Washington quarter minted in the 80s. It's got George Washington on the front, the eagle on the back, and a little P mark above the date. But some of these coins were struck with a rare mint error that skyrockets their value. These coins can carry doubling, off-center strikes, and sometimes even a full missing clad layer, exposing the copper core. Combine those with a pristine grade, we're talking MS68 or higher, and the price explodes. Now here's where things get really wild. One specific 1981 P quarter with an unusual strike-through error, high grade, and near perfect luster, sold at a private auction for over $950,000. Imagine that. A single coin someone might have tossed in a parking meter, now being kept in a private vault.so. How do you know if you have one? Here's what to look for. First, the date. It must be 1981. No D mint mark, only the P, which stands for the Philadelphia Mint. And next, inspect the surface under a good light. You're looking for strong details, sharp edges, no wear at all. If it looks like it just left the mint, that's a great sign. Then, flip it. Any signs of doubling in the letters or numbers? Any part of the design looks slightly off? That could be a doubled die or strike error. Also, watch for coloration. Some rare errors result in coins missing their outer layers, which makes them look reddish or coppery. Those are big money. Now, I want to be real with you. Not every 1981 P quarter is worth thousands. Most are still worth 25 cents. But here's the thing, you won't know unless you check. And people found rare coins in rolls from the bank, in parking change, even in tip jars.so. Why not look? You could be holding onto a coin that turns your next gas station run into a life-changing moment. If you think you found something special, take it to a professional coin grader. Services like PCGS or NGC can verify the grade and authenticity, and that's what separates a curiosity from a six-figure treasure. Now here's a quick bonus tip. When checking your change, always keep an eye out for coins with strange textures, weak strikes, or anything unusual. Some of the most valuable coins ever found were originally dismissed as damaged or dirty. But collectors pay huge premiums for unique mint errors.so. The next time you empty your pockets, remember that boring old quarter might just be your golden ticket. Thanks for watching. Hit like if you're about to check every coin you own, and subscribe for more real-life treasures hiding in plain sight. Have you ever checked your pocket change and thought, what if one of these coins is worth a fortune? Well, what if I told you a regular-looking 1994 Washington quarter with a tiny P mint mark could be worth up to $956,000? Yes, you heard that right, almost $1 million for a coin most people wouldn't think twice about. But what makes this coin so special, and how can you tell if you have the jackpot quarter hiding in plain sight? Let's dig into the mystery. First things first, the quarter we're talking about is the 1994 Washington quarter minted in Philadelphia. You'll know it's a Philly coin because it has a small P just under the phrase "In God We Trust" on the front. Over 1 billion quarters were minted that year. So what separates a regular 25-cent piece from one worth a small fortune? It comes down to rare errors and unbelievable condition. The coin that sold for up to $956,000 wasn't your average quarter. It was struck on the wrong Planchet, that means it was mistakenly minted on a coin blank meant for something else like a dime or even a foreign coin. These kinds of errors are extremely rare, but when they happen and the coin also grades near perfect condition, collectors go wild. One of these error coins showed up at auction and stunned everyone. It had nearly flawless surfaces and razor-sharp details. The grading service gave it a near perfect mint state rating. Combine that with the error and boom, bidding skyrocketed when the hammer dropped. This 1994 P quarter sold for $956,000, almost $1 million for one little coin. So now you're probably wondering how to check your own coin. Start by looking at the date. If it says 1994 and has a P mint mark, you're on the right track. Next, look closely at the size and weight. If it feels too thin, too light, or has a strange color, it could be struck on the wrong metal. Any unusual shapes, off-center images, or doubled letters can also be clues. And if the coin looks brand new, with no scratches or where it might be worth getting it professionally graded. Always handle coins by the edges to avoid damage. Use a magnifying glass and good lighting to inspect every detail. If something looks odd, compare it to other quarters from the same year, and most importantly, don't clean it. Cleaning a coin can destroy its value instantly. If you think you've got something special, take it to a coin dealer or send it to a trusted grading company like PCGS or NGC. So next time you get change at the gas station or clean out an old drawer, check those quarters. That 1994 P might be more than just pocket change. Who knows, you could be holding nearly $1 million if